Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I'm playing along with a For the Love of Pretty Paper sketch. So For the Love of Pretty Paper is a UK scrapbooking group, and yeah, we have a sketch every month, and this one, you can just about see it there, is the sketch for September. So I have gone classic September and gone for school themed supplies. I've got a few school photos that need scrapping. I really hate the size. I think they're 7x5 and I find the size really awkward to scrap. 7x5 or 6x8 really total my nemesis sizes. I just find them really awkward. Say the landscape ones as well, because they they're just more awkward to place on the page. Portrait I find easier, but landscape I find difficult. Anyway, this sketch lent itself really nicely to this big photo because it has the two photos on a big strip at the bottom. So the two photos are obviously smaller than my large photo, but that works. I think that absolutely works. Sketches are just a starting point, and it's okay to change things up and switch things up around a bit to fit what you're using. So say I have this photo already printed. It's the one that came from school. I don't get the digital versions because that's more expensive than having a print version. So I just go with the print ones and just live with the size. So I have trimmed it down a bit because it has a funny barcode on it, and then mounted it onto white so it has a nice white border. I've got a 12x12 white background. I've trimmed down the yellow paper that has little icons all over it. Oh, I should have said that this is the Simple Stories School Days collection. It's from last year, not that old, it's only about a year old, and I've kept it in my stash because I have 3 school-aged children, so school themed supplies are always going to do well, be well used in my house. Yeah, so anyway, I've trimmed down that yellow background paper with all the icons on it to about 11 inches square. I've just stressed the edges and stuck that down. Then I have that big panel across horizontally across the layout as represented by the sketch. So I've gone for a dark paper and it has letters all over it. It's never a paper that I would use as a background, so therefore to be able to use a large chunk of it is really good in my opinion. I'm really happy to have managed to do that because it's such a big busy paper, big bold print, that I was a bit worried that I would never use it. And it's so lovely with all the letters all over it, but just a little bit too bold to use as a background. So anyway, to have a large bit is a big win in my eyes. So now I just have to get myself sorted in terms of embellishments. I have cut a strip of paper, one of the rulers from one of the papers to go along the top of the edge, and then I've got another one of those but turned over the other way to reveal the typewriter print letters at the bottom of that big strip. So that just kind of gives it a bit of separation from the yellow and introduces a few more colours as well. And then I have to work on the clusters. So right, I have a little bit of space on the left hand side, not a lot, just where the way the children curve in or taper in is probably a better word. I can put a few bits and pieces there, so I have done. I've got a Follow Your Dreams journaling card, a circle, sticker, and then some other bits and pieces a bit lower down. And over on the right hand side, again, the children are tapering in, so that works really well in terms of not covering up anyone's face or anything like that. Obviously I wouldn't be able to do that, so unless it was a child I didn't like. Only joking, of course I would never do that. Yeah, so I'm able to put some things there. Also, the teacher on the right hand side was wearing a very short dress that the wind has obviously caught, so it was revealing quite a lot of leg. So actually it works really well that the children taper in and that I was able to to cover up those legs. Okay, so I've got that big school spirit flag there that you can see, and then I've got a potions bottle and a ruler and some scissors, all kind of ephemera and stickers. And then along the bottom of the photo I've got "You've Got Class." That is a sticker I've raised up on foam pads. And then to the right of that I've got a heart chipboard sticker that I've also raised on foam pads. I tend to find that chipboard falls off if you don't stick it either with glossy accents, sew it, or alternatively, sometimes I just raise it on foam pads, and that generally solves the problem. It's because chipboard is not flexible, so therefore when the layout flexes, the chipboard stays straight, and therefore the adhesive separates. So yeah, so I find that foam is better because of course it's got flex in it. So foam pads, brilliant. I've added some label stickers. I've got school rules, so much to learn and never stop learning. I'm not sure my 9-year-old in this picture would be too happy with any of those phrases or would agree with any of those. He's less keen on school than the other two. And then I thought I would make a pocket to go behind the photo to add my journaling. It's a very large photo, so it's an ideal place to add a pocket. But I didn't like anything sticking out above the top. So whether or not in, however many years' time that I actually look at this layout in an album, I will ever look behind the photo to see if there's any journaling things there. I don't know, because I haven't left. At the moment I've got a little bit of red poking out, but I didn't like the look of it, so in the end I've just tucked it straight down. So I'm not sure if I would ever know if something was there. I could write something on the layout, couldn't I, and say look inside, but there. Okay, so just adding a few bits and pieces. So I've got some stars going on. I've got some puffy stickers. So I've got a little bulldog clip and some small push pins and some glasses. Just a few of those little. I love the little puffy stickers. They give. I like to have a variety of sizes of ephemera and embellishments. I like to have some big layers and then taper down to smaller ones. So therefore, the little puffy stickers are often one of my favourite things because they are still the icons. They're not just plain like enamel dots. They're actual icons, but they're tiny. So it just gives you more flexibility in terms of building up different clusters. So that is good for me. Okay, so it's just getting all those bits and pieces stuck in place. Then I've added the year 4 title at the bottom. So I used year is letters from my stash, and the number 4 is from the sticker book, the Simple Story sticker book. So now I was inspired by the starburst on the sketch, but I also was feeling that my layout looked really, really, really yellow, and I wasn't happy with all that empty yellow space. It looked a bit too yellow, even though I love yellow. It just didn't look quite right. So I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of pattern, and there is a little bit of this pattern on the sketch. So I thought that I would embrace that and go for it. So I'm going to go for 3 areas. It's not in 3 areas on the sketch, but like I said, sketch is the starting points, right? I'm just going to use this stencil. It's a Bramble Fox stencil, and one of my distress oxides. I think it's fossilized amber or something similar. There we go, there's that card going in there again. I just lightly brushed over the stencil. I had to remove I had to lift up some of the layers to get the stencil underneath and in the right place. But in the end, that kind of works. So I'm all good with how that turned out. I think it just added that little something extra to the background that it needed. Yep. And I'm going to add some splatters of white paint over the layout. Now, I've done this prematurely because I haven't added the Bramble Fox Perspectives that I pulled out to use, and I have not added any sequins yet. I am splattering away merrily, and then at this point I realised, oh damn it, I've now got to wait for my paint to dry. So I had a bit of a tidy up, waited for my paint to dry, and then came back to it, and then added these last bits to the layout. So I've got a few of these arrows by Bramble Fox in the turquoise and the green, so they go really well with the colours on the layout. So I've added a couple of those in place. So I've got one on the right hand side and then one with a star over on the left. And then I've got a little plus sign as well. I like the plus signs. They are good for school for sure. So just adding that in there, using glossy accents to stick those down. And now I'm going to add in a few Spiegelmom Scraps sequins. I love the colours. So I've got orange and blues and greens and yellows. So perfect for this layout, absolutely. So just getting those stuck down now. I'm using glossy accents and a paper piercing tool to move those out of the way, add some glue, and then pop them back into position. So I'm adding those in all the areas of the star, well actually 2 of the areas of the starburst. So normally I would add these over the clusters, but actually this time I've added them over the 2 areas where I have starbursts coming out of the photo and the bottom layer. So yeah, just went for something different. So yeah, anyway, there we go. That is my layout complete. I hope you have enjoyed seeing how it came together. I hope this inspires you to have fun with the sketch. You can rotate it, flip it, mirror it. I think they're the same. Whatever you like, just as long as we can see the original sketch in there somewhere. But I hope they inspire you. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland playing along with the For the Love of Pretty Paper September sketch.